Hey, Scottie, welcome back. Where do you see this team heading into you're now almost a vet, so where do you see this team compared to other teams you've been part of since you've been with the Raptors?
I would definitely say we have a very talented roster. We have about 13, 14 guys that can step on the floor every single night and make an impact on this team. So we have a very talented roster. Other rosters, we're top 5 heavy, but we have a complete roster right now.
So to Josh and then to John.
Hey, Scottie, welcome back. Darko was just in here and he mentioned that the team kind of made a concerted effort to make sure that the projected starting lineup was working out together and playing together over the last few months. In spending that extra time with Brandon over the offseason, what have you learned about him? And now that you've kind of seen it play out a little bit on the court, how do you see that kind of working out, fitting in together?
I think as we can see and being around him, he's more of a laid-back guy. But, he still has a lot of character to him. But on the floor, he's super skilled. He can make any tough shot that's possible. And he's being more of a willing passer where he's able to drive to the rim or drive to his spots and be able to create for others. Throwing those kick-out passes, he's been pushing the ball, running in transition. So being around him, just being able to see how talented he is, he's phenomenal. He can do so many different things on the floor. His game is just, he's going to help us a lot this year. He's going to demand so much attention.
So John and then Samson.
Hey, Scottie, welcome back. Just to follow on Josh's question about Brandon and the starting 5 practicing together in September, has there been a moment where you were all on the court and you're like, yeah, this is working, like we've got the chemistry, we've got the flow, and if so, what was that moment like for you?
Of course, we still got a lot of things to continue to work on and continue to grow. But out there, we're moving, we're playing great defense, we're rotating. On the defensive end, we're very active on the ball. Offensive end, we're playing much faster, pushing the pace. It's going to be able to allow everybody to be able to get the ball and be able to, because we have a lot of guys that can score on our team as well, and that's starting 5. So being able to play faster, kick aheads, being able to have people create their own driving lanes while the floor is spaced out, it just helps in so many ways. You got to be able to have those driving lanes so we can be able to create, because we all can be able to get to the basket, be able to have shooters everywhere. It just opens up our offense.
So Samson, then Doug, then Joseph.
Hey, Scottie, just over here. So you've been asked to do a lot of different stuff during your career, and you've developed into a very unique player in the NBA. From when you entered the league to now, are you a much different player than what you thought you would be when you were first drafted?
For sure. I think coming out of college, I was more on the defensive side. I was great defensively. Bring intensity. I was good at getting to the basket, playing physical. But I think my game just grown so much. I think my ball handling has got way better. Being able to drive to the basket, be able to finish there, doing different moves, being able to get to the mid-range. I don't think before college I was really pulling up in the mid-range, shooting, turnaround fade. So, and of course my 3-ball, I wasn't really shooting a lot of threes before in high school and in college. So just being able to grow my game in that area as well. So my game has grown tremendously, and I'm just going to continue to get better each and every single year. That's part of the love, the process, what we do this for. My game has changed a lot, and, I just love it.
So go Doug, Joseph, then Will.
Scottie, welcome back. Going into your 3rd season now with Darko, you talked about your own growth as a player and as a person. How have you seen him change in any way, or how has his coaching changed in your 3 years?
I wouldn't say it kind of changed so much. Me and Darko, we're just continually develop a connection each and every single day. keeping me informed, keeping me noticed on what's happening, how he think I can impact the offense, how he thinks our team is going to develop in those type of ways. So I wouldn't say his coaching, changed too much, but I would say, the way our relationship has grown from then, and the way he coaches our team, he motivates us, he pushes us, he has great play calls. So in that aspect, I think he does a great job.
So Joseph, Will, Ez, and then Scott.
Hey, Scottie. Your defensive impact last season really took a big leap, and I was wondering what clicked for you on the defensive end last year? Like, was it a scheme change? Was it a decision on your part? Was it just being in the league a few years and kind of understanding things better?
I think with our defensive philosophy, I think we're trying to be more on the aggressive side. We're trying to be more active. We're trying to get more steals. Put me in those positions where I'm able to get those blocks, be able to guard those top guys. So I think I've always been great defensively. I'm going to continue to show that. I feel like I'm one of the best two-way players in this league, and, that comes with winning as well, so it can get noticed more. But, on that side of the ball, I think I've always been great. But we're just going to continue to grow on that side, get more steals, try to get more blocks, and, continue to get stops on whoever steps out there on the floor.
Go ahead,
Hey, Scottie. You were there in summer league. You saw how hard the young guys were competing, and we saw you standing up on the sideline clapping all the time because we know how much you enjoy defense. Do you feel like the starting lineup can replicate that level of intensity that we saw from the young guys in terms of getting after it?
For sure. They set the standard out there in the summer league, what the baseline for our defense is going to show. We got to be more active. We got to be causing havoc out there on the floor each and every single night. That's going to give us our best chance of winning. We have a very talented roster, but, that doesn't go to anything if you don't go out there and work hard and you think anything is given to you. So we're going to go out there and compete every single night. We're trying to be the hardest playing team when we step out there on the floor, and we're going to show that. It's going to be a tough night for anyone who steps out there on the floor with us, and that's what we pride ourselves on.
So Ez, then Scott, Ian, then Eric.
Hey, Scottie. Last year at the end of the season, you said you got a chance to experiment a lot throughout the course of the year. I'm wondering, what did you take away from experimenting and figuring out what you could do, and how are you trying to apply that to this
Repeat that
season?
again?
Last season, at the end of the last season, you said you got a chance to experiment a lot throughout the year and try different things. What do you want to take from last season and experimenting into this season?
Experimenting. Not really much experimenting. I'm trying to go out there and win. It was a different situation last year. I think as we all seen, but we're gonna go out there and ready to go this year, putting everything on the line.
Thanks. We'll go to Scott.
What's up, Scottie? At least externally, I think the expectations, for the team this year are, higher. How would you say internally, like how you guys are dealing with that? How do the vibes vary this year from, the past couple of years?
I think the vibes of the team are, we always try to go out there and win. Certain things happen, injuries happen, trades happen, a lot of things happen which plays a part. But, we're always going to try to go out there and win. Our expectation is to go out there and win every single game. I think our expectations for our team is to definitely make the playoffs and win some games in the playoffs. That's the standard. That's the bottom line. With how talented we are and what we should be able to achieve for this team. We're hungry. We got a lot to prove, and we're going to go out there and show it.
So Ian, and then Eric, and then Vivek.
Scottie, on your right. We've heard about a new format coming this year, potentially for NBA All-Star. I wonder what you think of a potential U.S. versus the world format at All-Star.
I think I used to play with that format on 2K back in the day. It's pretty fun. I think I like that format. It's a pretty cool format. I think it'll have that competitive edge. Bring back that competitive edge. It'll probably make people play harder as well. So I think it's a good format.
So we're going to Eric, and then Vivek, and then Chelsea, and then Michael.
Hey, Scottie, welcome back. Darko was just talking about how the defense starts with you, and you sort of set the tone there. I'm wondering if Brandon's presence frees you up to put even more into that end of the ball. Not that you haven't put everything into it before, but like there's only so much energy anybody has. Can you focus even more on that end?
I think I can get motivated at any time when I see someone go up there and guard the ball. Brandon's been in practice, picking up 94 feet, making people turn, being active, getting steals. I think when anybody go up there and get some steals and pressure the ball, it just creates a huge momentum shift to our team on the defensive end, and it just brings us so much juice, so much energy. So he's been doing a great job of being able to get right into it. And we're going to continue to keep pushing them. I'm going to continue to keep pushing them on that defensive end. And, that's going to bring that joy out of everybody on our team.
Thanks, Scottie. So Vivek, and then Chelsea, and then Michael.
Hey, Scottie. You were dealing with a bit of a hand issue last season. You mentioned you weren't able to grip the ball the way you'd quite like or follow through the way you'd quite like. You said you just needed to rest it. Is that all you needed? Are you feeling good about it now? And how are you feeling about your jump shot in general, your three-point shot coming into this season?
I think my shot feels pretty good. I think with that hand injury, it was my pinky. It was both pinkies actually. I needed some time off. I took a couple weeks off to just let it just rest, and then got back on the court and it just felt so much better. Sometimes it, a little bit doesn't bother me nearly as much as last year. But, it feels a lot better where I'm able to, shoot the right way. The ball feels great in my hands, and, everything feels great.
So Chelsea, then Michael, and then Liban.
Hey, Scottie, over here. You've been a part of this franchise and in this city now for almost 5 years. How has your relationship with the city of Toronto, the country, and the fans changed? And do you have a message for them going into this season?
I think I'm the only one left from being here from my beginning years, but for the fans that's been very passionate these 4 years going into my 5th year that I've been here, I feel like with this team we got a lot to prove and we're hungry, and we're gonna go out there each and every single night to try to bring that excitement back to Raptors basketball and make it enjoyable to watch. We're trying to put this league on notice, and we're trying to get these things going.
Thank you. Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Scottie. Obviously, Brandon's a giant addition, but Emmanuel quickly didn't get to play all that much last year. He missed a lot of time the year before when the year he came as a trade. And I'm just wondering what you're looking forward to, what you've seen about having him as part of a starting unit on a regular basis.
I think Emmanuel, he's been doing so much for our team. Getting our transition started, we said we wanted to play faster, kicking the ball ahead, allowing people to create, being able to get off ball some as well, where he's allowing other people to be able to create. He's been in those situations a lot where he has the ball and, he's going to score, but he's looking to play make for others. So I think he's been doing a great job being our point guard, orchestrating things, getting us to play faster, pushing us on both ends. So I think he's one of our leaders on our team. And he shows that every time he steps out on the floor, practice, off the floor, talking, communicating guys, trying to bring guys together as well.
Thanks. And we're going to end with Liban, who's down and to your left.
What's up, Scottie? There was rumors this summer about you potentially playing for the Jamaican national team a few years later down the line. Want to know, obviously, it's been a few years since you played international basketball. Is there interest for you to potentially jump
for
into
sure. We'll see what's going to happen. But I think that's definitely something I've been thinking about pretty hard, something that could potentially happen.